The Big Issue. Breaking down the issues that matter.
Hello everyone, welcome to Leadership Podcast. It's another edition of The Big Issue. And of course, as usual, I'm your regular host. And with me here in the studio is our in-house analyst, Silas Izogu. Well, for the big issue of the day, we have the Jostle for the 10th National Assembly position and matters arising. In the past few weeks, the federal lawmakers, both the ones that are ranking members and the newly elected members of the House of Representatives and the Senate, have been scrambling desperately to clinch principal offices of the National Assembly. And this escalated when the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu arrived in the country on Monday. Within this week, it has been visit upon visit to the residence of the president-elect in Asokoro. His house in Abuja has become a maker for the federal lawmakers who have been thronging the place to seek his support and to get his endorsement for either the Senate presidency position or the Speaker of the House of Representatives and other principal offices. Not quite long, the APC governors had held a meeting, and in the meeting, it came out, and their position on the National Assembly leadership is that they will not interfere in matters pertaining to the leadership of the 10th National Assembly. According to the APC governors, the federal lawmakers are experienced and mature enough to handle issues pertaining to their own leadership. But yesterday, the president-elect and the leadership of the All Progressive Congress, led by its national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, met at the Defense House in Abuja, where Tinubu and the vice president-elect, Kashim Shettima, had gone to inspect ongoing renovation at the facility in order to move in preparatory to the May 29 inauguration. While at Defense House, most of the lawmakers, senators and House of Reps members followed them down there, all in a bid to get the endorsement. Although the outcome of the meeting with the APC leaders was not clear as to the position they are taking on zoning. But most Nigerians are worried that this is a matter that should be addressed. And perhaps it has to do with the idea of avoiding a situation where the legislature becomes a rubber stamp of the executive. Silas, what do you think about this idea of zoning, endorsement, seeking of the blessing of the president-elect, and all that pertaining to the leadership of the National Assembly?
Yes.
Is it healthy for the country's nascent democracy?
Yes. The question you ask is very genuine. These sessions and politicians never stop politicking. They start politicking ahead of the election, when the primaries, after the primaries, then the elections, and now in the National Assembly, they are continue to politic, putting their resources, they are calling in whatever they have, villages, government, and famous to get some positions. So some of them is not just to be in House of Assembly, them who have been there know what comes with being a member of the National Assembly. So they want to listen to institution because it puts them in a better position in decision making, and also in their own personal career, even in money making. Some of them don't get to make money. The position they assume the national leadership has to fund them money to them more than those some people. So they know what we're looking for. Now, whether it is healthy, one, I won't say it's too heavy because Nigeria now we have learned to do things away from the norm, the normal thing. We have learned to take on some bad practices and then sustain it and make it to become a culture. People from my area say that you know the bad thing that lasts for 1 year becomes culture. You know, if it lasts for 1 year, people very should learn and accept it. But so the race to become NASS leadership is supposed to be settled among members of the House of Representatives and House of Senate. It's not something that's supposed to go to the president because of selection. You know that we are hearing. The normal thing is that they come to the house, they demonstrate their plans, their strategy, what they have to offer, to bring the house forward. You know, what kind of house they want to build. And if people buy into it, they pay for him in place of the manifesto before them. But here, they're holding national meetings every year, looking for a lot of them are even carrying dollars around and threatening to have dollar their opponents. How can this kind of person, if you have dollars in quotes, be expected to serve Nigeria, is punishment if you have spent that kind of money to become election, to election, then to become leader of the house it's kind of like people really to spend billions in India. Now when they go there, what are they going to do? They're going to look for how to steal 10 times or 20 times what they have put in to become there. So to answer your question, it's not healthy for democracy, but that's what represents Nigeria. In the past, some people have bucked the norm, trend by going against the party endorsement like president and all. Remember the case of Sarah Keko and House of Reps together, who went against the grain and carried out a kind of, I said coup, not even a coup, but overthrew the system the party had put in place. But if you watch, they kept having a lot of back and forth between the school, executive Reverend Buhari, and the Sakila National Assembly, Ogara and the Ogara Senate and the Ogara National House of Rep. So, in the last dispensation, we found out that APC managed to get the amount of the Senate president, the one they wanted, so that he will not have such a frosty relationship with the president. But we have seen how the thing panned out. The Senate became a rubber stamp. In fact, that's one of the most infamous rubber stamp in history of Nigeria's Senate. Here, other representatives got among the signed without even questioning. Even when the civil society raises question about what you present before them, they just wave it up. I remember the case of Onoche and some of the rest, that, including this man that just this side that went to Waterloo and desecrated all the place. The Senate, they went to society and another to say, don't approve this guy, he's partisan, he's not this, same to one. And they rejected those police. All the children, they found a way to give a soft on them by saying he's representing a different state. And somebody says there. I think the state is in Delta State. Somebody else in the commission is really from Delta State. They did not address the issue of that he's partisan member of APC. This news they also brought in another control. And this rubber stamp Senate, pass it. Now we can see how the election went. The election with the rec came where we was in the election. What about not just where, but it's not just about that and a lot of other recs, these things that if they come to the public domain, people will shriek. So coming to that, when the party brought in their own Senator Lawa, the National Assembly lacked the right to be the check and balance for the executive. And we saw how that panned out with the kind of indebtedness in their home now and other things that you know, so to me I'm a bit suspicious of this thing. I just wish maybe they would do the right thing.
But unfortunately, it appears the APCC has the majority in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. The expectation was that with very formidable parties like the Labour Party joining the PDP and the upstage in the recent general elections conducted, the opposition would have been in a majority where from different parties they would have formed alliance and face the, uh, the governing party. But in this case, it's not so, and perhaps that is why the APC lawmakers know very well that it is the party and the president-elect that holds the keys, because by then Tinubu will become president and no more president-elect.
Yes.
Because after his inauguration on May 29, he takes over
Yes.
before the National Assembly election. Now we see the issue of zoning coming into play, and we begin to see a situation where the lawmakers from where the National Assembly seat should not even be zoned to, the position should not even be zoned to, are still scrambling. We have the likes of Senator Barrow, Canon, we have others from the north still jostling for the Senate presidency. Former Governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, and the likes of them. And then from the south, we see that from the south, we see that the south too is pushing just like the south is. And
One for North Central too.
from the north central too. But what do you make about the zoning? If at all we agree that yes, these positions should be zoned, where do you think it should have been fair that the position should be zoned to, considering where the presidency comes from, where the vice president comes from, and we look at the religious implication too, where the president elect and the vice president elect are of same faith, Muslim. What do you think would be the best composition? And then from our tongue, we must go by that.
Okay. Well, I would say that sometimes you look at president, what happened in the past when somebody from the southwest was president. One person was president, and they had somebody from the northwest vice president. From north and southeast, and southwest, you know, southwest Obasanjo, northeast Atiku. It's the same scenario now. Tinubu is on the southwest and Shita is from the northeast. So what happened in that time was that the Senate president went to the southeast, while Speaker she went to the House of or the House of Rep went to north central, northwest. That was first of all, 2025 man. That's why when it was removed, then this another one to work for him.
Or was it not the major bank?
No, they're not. That's
Look
for
at
Kano.
Trisha. Okay. Abba, and Abba.
Naba.
Gali Naba, yeah.
So in that session, the southeast was with the president, and then the northwest, because we already have a northeast on the field. The number two man is northeast. So anything going to north again go to northwest, and north central. So SAT produced president. So if the president possibly the president will now go to SAT to the North Central, which doesn't have anything like this, while the deputy speaker can go to maybe South and states in to balance it up. So that is precedent. We also talked about, but you can see that politicians, when it suits them, they throw precedent away. They threw the established zoning system away. They won't go and grab it and now want the system to revolve around them and take a position while they're already there. That's what happened with the that the ticket of the PDP and why it came out. So I'm thinking that if they want to go by zoning, and the president, there was no question that part, you know. But that's not to cast in stone. Okay, if we still have not the South South producing president, president president, they've not been there before. You understand? They've not been there before. Why the South produces deputy speaker?
Yes, because when you talk of
They've not been there before.
when you talk of for the Senate president, there's this argument that the Southeast has held that position, held it again and again, and those who are actually insisting that the Southeast should not be considered for the Senate president say we've had the late Chuba Okadipo being Senate president. We have Evans Iwerem, we've had Wapara, we've had
That's kind of money.
Kenamani,
That's hanging.
we have Bayo Sanyin.
Those two were all there during the
I
time
think
of
the Southeast has
Obasanjo.
had the last turnout of Senate president.
Yeah,
That is why.
But you know, they served that time, you know, doing Obasanjo film with that, you know, so anyone that didn't
Do well, you just send them.
anyone that didn't dance to it, just find a way to sit there. So that's why you had that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
Only when Kenamani came on board and by Sani, okay, in his own time, that was able to see other terms, you know, stabilize the house,
Yes.
you know. But those ones were peace setting by passenger. So Kenamani saw the tenure, sent it to pass, annually. So that argument is that okay, South has not been Senate president, so maybe we should go to them. We have some candidates like big pockets, big broad chest, like a Pompeo, who is going there. If you throw it to South, he's likely to grab it. Okay? He has been there before, he's a senator, and then the other people will come out and contest with him.
Tinubu, sorry to cut you, Tinubu was even of the opinion. I think according to reports, Tinubu told the lawmakers, told the party leaders that the South, a Christian from the South should become Senate president, while the Speaker of the House of Representatives should go to the Northwest. But he was not specific
About Southeast or
about
South.
Southeast or South.
Yes.
Or,
Now
that is where the problem lies.
yes. And if you look at between the South and Southeast, the only thing that the Southeast has not really heard, they've not heard speaker before. I've been deputy speaker before. And former Emir and spoke to before this man there. Two of them are to here they are deputy them as a director. Okay. So the only thing the Southeast has not really changed much. When you figure out the president, so those ones. So I think there's arguments on South that they want to set it. So that South is saying we want to set the president. South is also the president said we want to set deputy, the Senate presidents. So there's good argument in that. But by and large, there's need to bring in people of principle who will not be overstaffed, who will be able to vote the executive. Because if the longest do their job, they said in the program manager that in the UK, what the longest can do is to talk, make a man, woman, man. Why they can do a lot of things there. So it the failure of governance in Nigeria has been because we had an ineffectual check and balance coming from the ASO, from the National Assembly. If they were there, because when they talk about, oh, they're proving this one is stolen and this is not done, those things are in the pressure, and they have people supervising them who will have known at what point they were not done, but if they are doing their work. But many of them just go there, become part of the committee, and not to so that can get something from government programs, not talk to what they get from the House of National Assembly and so on. So they need to have National Assembly that will put the executive accountable. That will even, but if the executive knows that it doesn't fulfill its mandate, that it can be removed by the people in the Senate as a representative. So sit up. We're going to have a lame duck National Assembly. They know that, just like Buhari did, that come rain or shine, nothing will happen.
That is even what I think I remember the forum of ex-lawmakers, ex-federal lawmakers. No, not just ex-lawmakers, both at the federal level and in states. They came out yesterday issuing a communique at the end of the meeting saying that allying for a natural course of leadership will bring better harmony, understanding, mutual respect, and less politicization of the parliament.
Um,
And I think that point could have been salient because if it happens, this issue of rubber stamp, just like you're saying, will not even be an issue again. But,
Unless the waiver emerges chooses to be.
uh,
But, you know, if the president emerges through the presidential endorsement, it will be complicated one or the other to come out to the president. To do this because you have to get there, you know, to rush your back and rush your back.
and that is even what played out. You know what really happened in the is it the 8th Senate or the 8th Senate? Saraki and the rest when they discovered that the zoning pattern and the choice of the governing party APC was not in tandem with what they wanted. They had to go
Walk behind the scenes.
work behind the scenes, even engage the opposition, lawmakers, and then at the end of the day, they admitted the governing party, and that is how Saraki knows that it was a robust National Assembly because they were able to face the executive, tell them what is
Yeah.
supposed to be that they are supposed to hear, unlike the Ninth Assembly that
Yes.
has always been just carry go with the executive. Well, it's all okay, it's all for you. How do you think? Do you think that might not play out the way
Well,
things are going, especially when the governing party, when you talk of majority and not much in majority compared to
They're not.
it's always just a
I
slight.
think they don't even have a leader. I think they are 172 members, while the other combined has 152.
182.
Why some seats are still undecided. So they're not even commanding a majority now, and you need that majority. So I don't know whether there was position, but at that time, it was basically PDP, APC. So you can easily get out PDP and one side, which was opposition, get it to work together. But now you have splinters, you have Labour Party. And quantity, most of them are new. I don't even know what's happening. Some of them are Okada riders, get riders, who just went and bought
The form for
just
the Labour
fill
Party
it,
form.
just fill it and said
They didn't even campaign.
They did campaign.
At the end of the day,
So they
was it
didn't
in
know they
Kano
won.
also? We heard that one was just on Okada driving when he got the news that he had won.
I'm coming. The one I know in Enugu, my friend told me that he didn't even know he had won. He was driving his keke looking for how to buy oil and put in his engine. And he told him as well. He said, "Hey, you have to." So you have such people there. I don't think. Well, I know some other lawmakers may have, if they lost their primaries, they have gone to the Labour Party. But there are few. Most of them who are coming there are new fights. So I don't know how they will have the grounding necessary to mount an opposition to what they receive. But it's unfolding event. I think we should watch that side going to play out.
Well, just like Silas has just said, it's an unfolding event, And we will be keeping our hands across. Nigerians are watching with keen interest to see what plays out in the 10th National Assembly, whether the schemings of the lawmakers of the governing party will be of any moment or it will come to naught. That is left to see, because despite the idea of zoning pressure on the president-elect and the governing party to zone the offices, principal offices of the 10th National Assembly, there is also the opposition factor, who, especially in the House of Reps, seems to be in majority now. In the days to come, we'll begin to see how it goes. But the ideal thing is just what the Forum of Ex-Lawmakers had said yesterday, that it would have been better for the leaders of the National Assembly to emerge through an ordinary process free of political intrigues, maneuvering. Thank you for keeping tab with us out there, and of course, we'll always keep you tab with issues pertaining to the 10th National Assembly leadership as it comes. Join us same time tomorrow for another edition of this program. Have a wonderful day.